Hey, hello everybody. Welcome to another class. Let me check if everything is working fine. Wait for YouTube to open. Hello everybody. Welcome to another class. Let me check if everything is working fine.
Okay, the sound is
Wait
good.
for
Let's go.
YouTube to open. So in today's class, we'll cover those three topics: string interpolation, type conversion, and basic operations. To speed up the class, I already created a file, but the file is empty here. I just have string interpolation here ready to run. So just to remember, we have to go to our entry point. I will comment this, and then we will call string interpolation dot run. And you can put a breakpoint here or there if you prefer. Okay, here. So what is string interpolation? It's a fancy name for a very simple thing. The idea is that we'll get multiple variables and compose to create a final string. Let me clean this. So some use case. We already saw example in the previous classes. That's why it's something we need to learn very early, because I even should have showed this like before, but something like this may be confused if you don't know what is going on here. So now let's go back a little bit and give some more detail. So simply imagine that we have two variables like strings. Let's call the first one first name, and let's assign the value Jose. Let's have the second one last name, and let's assign the value Santos. So right now it's clear for all of us that is a string variable, the name of the variable is first name, and we are assigned a value of string that is José Santos. Cool. So we learned that if we use this command, console.write line or write, we can output this to the console. So we can do something like this. And here I put last name. What happened if I just run this program? Let's go here. I'm not even going to debug. I'm just going to run to see the output. We are doing some abstraction here, as we're gonna do always. And let me, we don't need the AI right now, so I will hide this guy. So we have, in the console, we use the write line, and we see the first name and last name. This is very important. I'm like repeating this because I already saw people have trouble with this before. Oh, first name, those are letters. How can I see something different here? Because this is a variable, and the beautiful thing about a variable is that we can store values that are going to be changed during our program. Every time that we run the program could be a different one. In this one, will be always Jose until I come here and change to something else. So we'll learn later on how to, in this topic, input, output, how to dynamically allow the user to provide values for those variables. This is part of the input, output. But for now, we are focused on one little part, that is string interpolation. This way is like this. We are sending this variable to the output, to the console, and this variable. What if you want to send both in just one command? For example, write line. Write line. We could do what we call concatenation. If you use the add operation, it's not like a mathematical operation, arithmetic operation. We get two strings, we concatenate them. We put one at the end of the other. So let's see what happened in this line. I save, and then I run again. Ctrl F5. As we can see, both content are just together. So then realize, oh, if we want to see a space in between, as we usually do, we'll have to do something like this. Put a space, then plus. Well, I'll keep all the case so we can see all the inputs. Now let me run. This is very basic. I guess someone is going to feel, oh, this is, but it's important because I know a lot of people need to have this clarified. So now we can see that we have an output that both are in the same line and with the space in between. Let's imagine now that we have another variable. Let's see something like email. And we want to print first name, last name, plus email. And now let's imagine that we want to do some nice format here. We want to do something like this. We want to first name and last name, oh, sorry, to be between brackets. Did you see what I'm doing here? I am doing something like this. Oh, sorry, here just open. I want to print an open brackets before the first name and a close bracket after the last name. And then a space, then email. Let's run, Ctrl F5. And then you can see what is going on. So this is not string interpolation, but this is the reason why we do have string interpolation, because our string could be getting more complex. For example, imagine that we want to add this email, oops, sorry, come on, inside bracket as well. So if we run, we'll see something like this. So here there is one catch, that is every time we concatenate a string, we create a new one. So string interpolation has this idea of, instead of we have concatenate string, we could have something like this. Let's see if it's going to make sense. We will have our full string as just one string, so we don't need this concatenation in between. What I'm missing here, oh, this open to be here. So pay attention, please don't get lost with this. Here we have just one full, oh, actually, let me remove this. We only have one big string. But right now, the interpolation is not happening yet. If we just run this guy, look what is going to be printed out. Exactly this full string, because there is no variable here. Pay attention that here, when we concatenate, then we are using a variable. But this from here to here is a full string. So when we want to apply string interpolation, we have to put a dollar before the string, and every variable will be between brackets. So now we are saying, well, this is my full string. And everything that is inside those type of brackets means is a variable that will be replaced by the content of the variable. Oh, let me try this. Are you, just for the sake of, I will keep the previous one. This one. What I miss? Oh, I forgot this. Sorry. This and this was here. So just we have what we had before. Now this string is shorter than this one. We don't need to add all those operation extra string with X. So it's a way to simplify and just explain, well, this is my string partner, and I want to replace variables inside. So if we run this now, if we don't do one mistake, we see the desired result. Oh, there is an extra space here, see? Or maybe we want to know that space. So let's see, let's put space before and after. So this is what we call string interpolation. In a nutshell, is a way to generate a new string composed with static text plus variables. For example, we could come here and do something like this. Oh, let's improve this string. I want to put the string here like this. Full name equals to this. Then I will put like semicolon, and then the text email equals to this. So don't get confused, because the idea here is we have a full string with static text like this one. Full name equals space is part of the string. It's not a variable. So it will be arrays. Now we are replacing this with whatever is in the variable Jose. So if we run this now, we'll see this result. If we are not using string interpolation, this string would be something like this. Look, without string interpolation, we will need to concatenate all the strings, and we make our string harder to read. So this is different. Look how longer this string is, and is messy to read. So I will put a comment here. Without string interpolated. Oh, sorry. So I hope this is helping you to understand the benefit of string interpolation. Makes simpler to have a full string, a full static text with variables in between. And there are some other benefits as well. For example, imagine that we have something like this. Let's put here a variable called a decimal called salary. And let's put a value here, let's say 7,605 or 7,651 and 50 cents. Remember that as is a decimal, we have to put a little m here. And we want to print the full name, email, plus salary. Or to simplify, full name and salary. We could do something like this, console.writeLine. Then I want to do string interpolation. That is why I use the dollar. So now the dollar is not something strange for you anymore. Full name equals to, and then the variable. We don't have a variable full name, but we can put like first name. Oh, sorry, first name space. Now the variable last name. Semicolon, salary, and here the variable salary. Let's save and let's run to see how it goes. Cool. But imagine that the salary now, we did something like this. We put many extra decimals. We have all those decimals there. So it's possible to do some format here. If I'm not mistaken, it's N2 saying, oh, it's a numeric and we just run 2 decimals. So let's run it and see how it goes. Yeah, that was the, oh, let's do this. I will keep this one and I will keep the previous one as well. So we can compare the results. Because look the difference. This one, the salary does not have a 1000 separator, and wait, oh, sorry, we removed that 1, 2, 3, 4 from here. Let's run it again. So we don't see the 1000 separator, and we have all the decimals from the original number. In this format, we say, oh, it's a numeric with 2 decimals. This is where AI helps a lot, because probably I only remember this because I used recently, but in 6 months from now, how do I format? And then we can use so AI can speed up that search. So what I will do here is I will bring Copilot and I say, please, not please, let's do add to the end of the current file some information about string interpolation format, like the example of line 29. Add examples. Let's see what Copilot is going to do. Let me create more space here so we can see more. So let's keep it. So is number, percentage, date, alignment, and padding in hexadecimal format. Do you need to remember all this? No. That is the beauty about software engineer. Memory is not the big deal. It's more like you knowing something. The little details is going to be easily like checked. So here AI adds some of this. So as you know that there are some format, the details for each format we can go there and pick up later on. So in this case, let's put a breakpoint here. I will put a breakpoint this line. And then you can check line by line what could be the effect of dotted format. And here we go. Number format. So this is what we saw, a decimal with 2. Then currency. Do you see that there is a dollar? And this int is because this dollar came from our environment. As I'm using Linux and my country setup is US, is asking for the environment. What is the current symbol. If you are using or you change it for something different, you see the symbol for that environment. This is very cool because the environment is using the local machine to get that information. Let's move here as well. Now, percentage formatting. Look at the percentage. Is a variable here that is 0.85, so it's already put like the 8.500 in percent. And then you can tell how many decimal do you want. Some formal date format. We'll learn about this later on, but this is a way to say, okay, tell me what is the current date, today, date, time, and now. It's not hard to understand that the environment is going, the platform is going to give us ways to get that information. So this variable here is going to tell us that what is today date. So every day that I run, we're going to get different values. And we'll print short date, and then today is just like D. Long date, we'll see that is Friday, April 2004, 2026. So do you see the same date, but this is a short description, this is the long description. And we didn't need to do anything extra, just little letters in the format, and we can see it. And there is some padding format as well. So this one here, left align 10 charts. So if we do this, do you see that is a line on the left and 10 charts? If we do the other one, it's on the right. So it depends how you want to align your text, that is going to help you. And there is this hexadecimal format as well. We have a number in decimal, and you can say, oh, we want to see that number in hexadecimal. Lowercase, if you want. If you use capital X is uppercase, capital and lowercase will be lowercase. This is part of the learning coding, is some of the ideas, knowing what can be done, and later on we refresh our memory. If you work with this every day, if you are using a lot of string interpolation, then you're going to remember. But if someone is going to ask you in an interview, they will never ask you, or they should never, at least I never heard about this, oh, do you remember how specific we can format a date to show like the short date? No, it's just say, oh, it's possible to format the date in the string. How you do? Oh, there is a way to do it. Like you use a string interpolation, and there is a pattern that you're going to use it. So that is enough. Cool. It's important to learn about this string interpolation because we use this a lot. Because we will be generate output, and that output is basically strings. Okay, that is this for string interpolation. It's something that we're going to be used over and over. So even if you don't get yet, it's going to come it. So now let's go to the next topic. The next topic of today is type conversion. This is very interesting as well. So I didn't prepare the full thing here, but let's do this. Using system public class, let's call type conversion and pub start void run. Now I change this guy in our program. And I comment the previous line. And you know why I'm doing this, no? Because now I want to run this program here. If I do a Ctrl F5 now to run it, I will see nothing in the output because this guy is doing nothing yet. So what is the big deal with type conversion? We already learned, let me put this here so we can understand. Oops, let me go here and do a reset counts. If we create a string, oh, let me move this out, oh, sorry, all the way here. If we declare a string call price. And we assign this string develop 1999. Most of you will already think, oh, this variable here, the way that we see, what is the type that we should put? Well, should be a numeric type that allow decimal. So, should be a decimal. But what if our string, our variable is a string? Because this will be very different now. We could say something like this. Decimal price receive 1999 M, or string price receive 1999. We already know that for the computer, those two values will be different. This one is going to be stored. Both of them will be stored as a sequence of bits. However, the string here is not the digit 1, it's not the number 1, it's the symbol 1. Remember that in this string, we could have anything else. In the number, no. We cannot have in a number something like this. The compiler say, oh, I can't put a letter as part of a decimal. This is not possible. The only letter that you can use is the one in the end, just to say that this is not a double, it's a decimal, as we saw in the last class. In a string, it's different. The computer don't see this as a string. For example, if you ask as a string, which number is bigger? 9, or 1 million. What do you think as a string will be bigger? As numbers, we know that 1 million, not if it's 1 million, 1 million. However, strings, the comparison is from the left to the right. So if we compare those two strings, 9 will be bigger than this. Just to show you how dangerous is if we don't treat the types, the variables or the data with the correct types. So it's very important that we need to do some conversion. This is important because every time we're gonna type something to the computer, as we are typing using the keyboard, that content will be a string. And then we need to convert from, let me get this, from a string to a number. Or let's do pick. From a string to a number, or vice versa. Sorry. We can convert from a number to a string. Pay attention that from a number to a string will always be possible, because every number can be converted to a valid string. The other way is not always true, because if this is not a valid number, the conversion will fail. If we have letters, symbols in this string, of course, the computer tells us, I can't convert a letter direct to a number. So this is what we call type conversion. When we know that one variable has the content that we like, but we need to convert to a different type. Cool? And we will need that a lot in our learning, because as we're going to be typing values, that type will always be strings, and then we need to convert to the desired type. Let's go back to our code to clarify this. So, first example. I will declare a string variable called price, and I will say this as string, and this price will be 19.99. Now we want to convert this price as a string to, price as decimal. We want to convert this variable. We cannot just do this. Some language will do that because the computer could be smart enough to realize, oh, this variable is decimal, and we are assigned to it a string. So probably the user want to convert. But the compiler doesn't want to make any assumption, does not want to guess. So we need to do that. So there is a couple ways to do it. The best one is like this. We want to convert to decimal. So we use the decimal word here and then parse, because when we want to come from a string. So we do this. This is something that some languages do automatic. Most of them don't, because of the risk to being doing something that could not be what is expected and could cause some problem. So what we're doing here is we're saying get this string that I know is a valid number, or I think it is. If not, it's going to fail it. Convert that representation that we know that is going to be replaced by chars in a table just to numbers. So a lot of people already work for this. We can even see the source code for this because C# is an open source language. We can check in Google, like in the repository, how those implement. So when we are using any program language, there is a lot of code that was created for us. And we have to take advantage of that. Otherwise, you're going to be reinventing the wheel, doing something that is not necessary. So what we need to understand here now is that in the computer memory, this string that is stored in characters, like it's 5 characters, and then we have 4 bytes for each one. 4 bytes, not bits, 4 bytes, because it's a number that is in the ASCII table, will be converted to a decimal number. Just to make sure that this is clear, because this is the type of confusion that people that didn't learn from the basic and is going to use AI, later on you have trouble and you have hard time to figure out what is going on. So let's go back here to understand. One abstraction of having a string with a number 1999. Oh, let me fix the column. How do the computer store this? We already saw that every character will be a Unicode. So let me put here, 1, 2, 9 actually, dot 9, and then 9. A string for a computer is something like this. And inside here will be a binary number represent the Unicode for this. We saw this already on the class. So each one of these, I put something like random here. I don't know if it's the right one, but to be something like this. 9, we know, no, 9, yeah, probably 9 will be something like 1, 0, 0, and 1. 1, 2, 4, 8. So be something like this. Dot, I don't remember what is the code for dot, but Oh, sorry, I cannot, it's just 0, 1. And 9 will be the same. Each one of those is going to go to that table, ASCII or Unicode, and then we have those symbols. The number, no. The number will be a different representation that is just like this. If I put the variable here as 1999, this will be a single representation with bits. Oh, sorry again. Represent as 1999. So when we do a conversion in memory, what is going to happen is all the thing here will be used to calculate a new number, and this new number will be stored in this variable. So in our example, this variable here will be the price as string, and this one here will be price as decimal. This is very important to be clear in everyone that is going to touch code, touch a system, or do anything with vibe code or coding, that we need to explicit in most of the language say what is the type, and if you need to convert, we need to tell, oh, I want to convert. Okay, there is another way to convert that is using this guy here, decimal price as decimal 2. There is one thing called convert, and then we can say 2 and that 2 decimal, and then we can put whatever we want here, price as a string. The advantage of this is that this value here could be integer, could be different type. This one is expect a string. Let me just confirm this. Maybe the pass, as I remember, is string. Yeah, this one expect string or char. This one here we have multiple. We will learn about this later on, but you see there is many different other types that we can use it. Most of the time I use this when it's for a string. When I want to convert from a specific type for integer to decimal, then I use this one. Okay, so it's very important that we know about this, because from now on, in the next class, in this class, we learn something very interesting. This example here is okay. So now let's say this. Let's put console.write line, and I put just one line with this string. Price as string. Oh, I forgot to put the dollar here before. It's very important. Every time we need to do interpolation, we have to put the price as a string, then price as decimal. Price as decimal. I save, and then I run. Price as a string. Visually, we see the same. Unless we come here, and then we say, oh, this is a curious with 2. Then now you see the dollar sign there. If you want to have this, I will have to manually put price here. Oh, the dollar here. But if you change your computer set or someone from another country is running, this guy will give the right symbol for the currency. And in this case, will be always dollar, because it's part of the string that is started. Cool? Okay. So now let's learn something that is going to make us very happy. because we will be able to do something useful. So far, why our programs is like meaningless? Because every value was a constant. If I run this program 1,000 times, my string, my value will be 1999. If I run this other one 1,000 times, all the values will be the same. What you learn now is a very interesting concept that is called input and output. Because now we are opening our program to interact with the users. And as we are using a console application, that is very simple. If you are using a Windows or a web, it's way more complicated because we do have many different components specialized for what type of information we are showing or getting from the user. In this case, we only get and output strings. So let's see, look how interesting this is. Let's go to our input output. I put here the using system public class input output, and then remember, you have to abstract this. Later on, we will learn every single one of those words, but for now, it's just copy and paste. And I'll get this guy here. I go to my program. I put this here and then run, because we want to have a lot of, all those programs as part of this project. And by design, .NET expects all this to be just one program. But as this is a training, we have multiple programs, each one showing something different. Is that why we need to do those adjustments? So if we run our program now, we don't see anything in the output because there is nothing here. Let's do something like this. Console.writeLine. Hello to input output. Like I told you in the first class, there is a lot of abstraction right on. So from this here, to see the string in the output, there is a lot of things happening. This variable is in the memory, then has to go to the processor, has to go to like channels in the main board, and then go to our graphical card, go to the output, and then it's going to come to our screen, and we can see in this bit, or the pixel to show that. So this is our output. We already been using output. Everything we are showing here is this. If you are using a web application, the output is different. It's like visual components. Checkbox, buttons, labels. Here is only text. So what we learn here from as a new thing is this. Imagine that now I want a program that the first name and the last name, the program does not know. The user is going to provide us. Every time we run, we're going to ask, oh, what is your first name? What is last name? That is what a real program will do. So now our variable, string, first name, will not come from a constant, will come from the console. And this is amazing because now we are opening a door where the user can tell us every time what is his name. Let's do a very simple thing. We are reading and then write the first name. And then we can do some little improvements. There is a little comment here. We will learn how to edit this later on. It's about these nullable types. So don't worry about this right now. If we run our program, something interesting is going to happen here. If I look to our console, we will see this hello to input output, and then there is a cursor there because we told the computer, oh, I need you to read a line from the console. So now I have to come here and type something, Jose. When I hit enter, this command will get wherever I type, will send from the keyboard to the memory. A lot of things is going to happen, and that content will land in this variable, and then we can print. And now we can make a program that every time we run, we can give a different name. That is the idea of a program. Oh. Not very useful, but we could do something like this. When we run, we don't know what the user expects to do. So we could do something like this. Console dot write, not write line, write, and now you understand the difference. Something like this. I could say type your name, just name. Look the difference, how important a good UI is. When I run it, the user will see name, and okay, I need to type my name. And then I will print the name. We could go fancy, we could say here, a string interpolation. Oh, F is because in Python is F. My mind just put F there. And we could say your first, or your name is, and then the variable first name. When I start to learn is like 4 years ago, around that, I realized, oh, I can make the machine do stuff. Is what we're going to be learning here. So if we run our program now, I put my name, Jose, and then your name is. We could do something like this. Call first, oh, sorry. Oh, I copied the wrong thing. What did I do wrong? What this? First name, last name. This var will be last name. And then you can say your name is. Looks silly, but this is what program is about. We make a program that is like a recipe that every time we do the similar steps, but with different values. It's like we have a recipe to do a cake. Every time we make a cake, the ingredients will be different. That is how a program is useful. It's just a recipe to solve something that we can over and over use when we need. So let's run this guy now. First name, last name, and then you have your name is José Santos. Or I could say, hello, José name. Nice to meet you. What's up today? And then start with the chat. Cool. So that was the goal of the today class, to understand string interpolation, type conversion, and input and output. This input and output is a entire field, what we call front end, because it's something that needs a lot of attention, how we interact with the user. We're going to talk about this later on, but from now on, for the several classes, until we are a very good and solid programmer, learn all the fundamentals, we will be use only this. Right line, right, if you want to write instead the same line, pay attention. If I put right line here, what is going to happen? When we run our program, the first name is written, and then we go to the next line. It is not what I really want. I want the user to see, okay, the first name is exactly in that line. Okay, so I hope this is clear. It's one of those things that for sure you pick up on the run, and sometimes it make harder for new learners to have trouble. So I hope was good to clarify this to you. Why you need to do type conversion. Remember all about this. Depend on the information, the computer is stored in a different ways. Is that why you have so many different file types? We have so many different variable types. And we can do interpolation. And interpolation allow us to do some formatting as well. Cool. So it's Friday, like 10:05. So I not expect anyone to watch your line, but God bless you. Have a nice weekend. See you next class. 5. So I not expect anyone to watch your line, but God bless you. Have a